First of all, Nigel, reflections a couple of days on the weekend.
Yeah, delighted really with the result and the way that a lot of our younger players stuck at the cause and eventually finished a stronger team. It was a huge achievement for them and the team, and it's obviously put us in a reasonably good position in terms of Europe. So, delighted with that performance against such a strong opposition.
Do you still think you can realistically get into those Heineken Cup?
Heineken Cup. There's so many permutations that when you start to look at it, you get a headache. So I think that's all we can do is go out to breathe and focus on trying to win a game in a very difficult place to win a game of rugby, and then we'll see what happens. We'll obviously, as a coaching group in particular, be in touch with what's going on and the permutations, which may or may not have a bearing on any messages that we get on. But as far as the team is concerned, they're pretty focused now on the back of a superb result, really, to go over to breathe and try and get a win out there, and that's our first and foremost. And if we look any further than that, then we're in danger of not achieving that, our aims.
How big an achievement would it be to make to finish second?
I think to finish second in this group would be quite an achievement for us, particularly where we've come from the last couple of years, and the fact that we've blooded so many younger players this season in particular, and we saw how many of those younger players played against London Irish. So from my perspective, I think it would be a major achievement if we could finish second in this group and hopefully then qualify for some sort of European quarter-final.
Who do you have coming back from who was in the ranks on Sunday?
Steve is probably going to be available. Matthew will probably be available, and even Rhys Thomas might be there or thereabouts.
Obviously Mark and David the long term, but something like Regan really well.
Yeah, Regan's not far away, and again we've targeted the LV games for Regan.
That's a big boost, must be those experienced three maybe coming in to what you thought was a good youthful performance on Sunday.
Yeah, it'll be great, and as well as we did, experience is always important, but particularly when you're playing away from home in Europe, experience can count for quite a lot. Having said that, the fact that a lot of these younger boys played in the game on Sunday, that's given them experience as well, and they'll gain a lot from that, and that's the most pleasing thing. They'll realise that they can stay in games by being dogged, and still come through and win. And they showed some good quality as well on the ball when we actually held on to it for more than one phase, and that was very pleasing.
Bench made a bit of an impact, Nigel, as well.
Yeah, very impressed with the way our bench went, and I think in the modern game your bench is so important, and sometimes particularly with our injuries, I've been a little bit frustrated in not having the quality that we need to come on and impact a game, but we certainly had that on the weekend, and there were all three of the forwards that came on made a big impact, in fairness.
Damien Welsh is one of the players really not many people down here would know much about.
Not really, he's been working hard. He's a brilliant athlete. He's not been in the game of rugby for long, so he's learning a lot about it as he goes. But his athleticism was there for all to see on Sunday. He's extremely quick as well, so if he ever gets the ball in open space, he can actually really go. But we've worked on his tight game, and as a line-out forward, he's absolutely superb. And little things in games are very important, and the fact that we were able to steal some of their line-out ball in the second half probably had a major bearing on the outcome of the game.
What do you expect from a British side who haven't really got that much to play for in this tournament?
I don't know. It's a real difficult one, that, and there's all sorts of noises around about them not playing their strongest team, and it's like a few other things, it's like the other results, they're not within our control. So our focus is what we can control, and that's to turn up again in the right frame of mind, to believe in ourselves, and look to win a game of rugby, and we can control that.
Welsh squad announced this week, Nigel. Obviously Martin Roberts has been touted as a potential player Twickenham in there. Is Martin ready?
I was pleased with Martin on Sunday. I thought he had probably one of our better games for us. Again, he's not had that long at playing at this level of rugby, but he's got some great qualities. Certainly on the ball and his service are second to none in the game. We've just done a training session. I'm just in awe sometimes of his ability to get accurate passes away over 15 metres is just phenomenal, and the speed that he does that is great. And if that's the type of game that anybody wants to play, then he's ideal. What we've worked hard with Martin on is his game off the ball and his contribution in that area, and I thought he was very good at that on Sunday. And your 9 is sometimes your last line of defence, and the ability of a 9 to read the game off the ball and turn up in the right areas at the right times is invaluable, and Martin's starting to add that to his game as well.
Rob McCusker and John Davies put a couple of lovely tries in for the Scarlets, Nigel. What are your thoughts on them coming for the Breed game?
Yeah, well, John, I think, has been very consistent for us all year. Puts in a real high quality level of performance week in, week out for us. And he's really a big part of what we are these days. So John is coming through extremely well, and we, all of us down here at the Scarlets know that and realise that. Rob has not had the opportunities maybe that he would have wanted, but certainly in the last month or so, having been given those opportunities, he's shown the quality of player he is, and I've always been impressed with Rob since I came back here over the last 18 months or so. He hasn't always believed in himself as much as I would have liked, and I think the fact that we've actually given him the opportunity and he's performed to a good level in the games that he's had, he's really starting to believe in himself now, and he was superb on Sunday.